Hey guys, Wannabe Ryan here with Wannabe Media, and today, continuing on with our 25 Days of Prospects, coming in at number 16, Riley Walsh. Now, Riley Walsh might be a familiar name. It's a newer name. If you're not too familiar, though, he wasn't a draft pick by ours by any means. He was actually traded this offseason, coming over to Boston. He was traded for Shane Bowers. Now, if you're like, who's Shane Bowers? Shane Bowers was who the Bruins traded at the deadline, who they traded for at the deadline, I should say, for Keith Kincaid, who they signed last year in the offseason. So, what you want to say about Don Sweeney, bad at contracts, bad drafting, bad whatever. He turned an AHL goaltender into an offensive prospect and then flipped said offensive prospect for what I have listed as number 16 at the Bruins' top 25 prospects. So that's not bad. He flipped a career AHL goaltender for, a former first-round talent in Shane Bowers, and then flipped Shane Bowers for hometown kid Riley Walsh. I know I just kind of said the same thing twice, but who cares? Riley Walsh, if you don't know, if you're not too familiar, he's 24 years old. He's from Framingham. 6 foot, 185 pounds. Not a big guy by any means. More of a offensive defenseman, if you will. Almost kind of like Connor Clifton. Kind of like the same build and kind of same style. I wouldn't say Connor Clifton's offensive. Connor Clifton had in his physical abilities, Riley Walsh has that in the offense. Like Connor Clifton, that was his one thing that he was really good at engaging physicality. Riley Walsh is really good at engaging on the forecheck on offense. Power play specialist, 1,000%. He was a former third-round pick in 2017 from the New Jersey Devils, 81st overall. Went to Harvard. And in 18 games with the Providence Bruins, his first full season in Providence, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points. That's not terrible, right? It's not horrible. The knock on him is he needs to be better in his own end. That's the reason why he's coming in at number 16. He could have been a lot higher if he's, more kind of filled out, and right now there's just not a roster spot available. The Bruins don't sign Shattenkirk next year, and it's Riley Walsh's spot. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen when we traded for Riley Walsh. It just kind of seemed like he was one of those players that's like really good in the AHL, and then he plays in the NHL for a couple games, and you're like, oh, that's why he's in the AHL. I was really thinking, him coming in as a hometown kid, that he was just going to kind of turn it up a notch. He played in preseason. Also, just like number 17 prospect Mark McLaughlin, got sent down fairly early, which made it seem like the Bruins had no faith in him. Just send him to Providence, have him work on his game even more. And that's where he is right now. He is on pace to have a pretty solid season. Just continuing to work on those things that, the Bruins and management and coaching staff is asking him to do. That's what it's going to take for him next year to make it to the Bruins. And I'd like to see it. I love these hometown kids that, Don Sweeney drafts. Yeah, he's known for, well, he didn't draft them, but he just loves bringing in these hometown guys, and I absolutely love it. I love a good story. So yeah, kind of a projection for him. Again, he's my 16th prospect. He's definitely on other people's list. He's much higher. I have him a little bit lower. Just, that age, he's 24. He's starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, are you going to be able to stick in the NHL? Do I think he's going to get into more NHL games as he goes along in his career? Absolutely, right? If you take yourself out of the show, there's no chance for you to play. So as long as he keeps on playing, he'll get in some games. It's just, do I think he's going to stick? I don't see it as much unless he, starts to really work on it. He could turn it up a notch. He's right there. I see other guys in our organization, and I see other guys, their compete level, their work ethic is just a little bit stronger than Riley Walsh is. And for that reason, I have him more as a 7th defenseman kind of role. Maybe you put him in certain situations if you're looking for a little bit more offense, just like Freddie Brunet we talked about earlier. Just something like that. I don't really see him being a top 6 defenseman in the NHL, someone that you would put on your third pair. He could. He very well could, but just in my own opinion, I don't see it. But I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope I'm wrong, and he shoves it right down my throat. And I'm going to leave it at that. Liv, hit my music.